Starsector is a game about spaceship battles. For this run, I played Domain Phase Lab, a mod faction that I'd never tried before. Do you like beams at extreme range? Do you like watching Tritac burn? Then you've come to the right place. Meet our captain, Sir Squiggly Phase. We begin the game with barely any ships, no reputation to speak of, and a cool 20k credits to our name. Squiggly's early game goals are simple: make more money, and earn the trust of Domain Phase Lab to begin working for them. Ah, there we are. A nice exploration mission. That'll get us started. There we go. Halfway to friendship, and a nice chunk of cash on top. We of course do not have the equipment on hand to actually salvage this domain survey ship, but it'll be there for later. Forever. Now, I have no use for this ship, but if I buy it from this person, we gain reputation points. And hey, look at that. A military contact we can do missions for. Success. Second trick, this arms dealer right here, just buy a single unit of whatever weapon is cheapest and you'll get a couple points of reputation that way for basically free. Now we're just 1 point away from a commission and then we can get to the fun bits. Ah, this person wants to buy a low-tech ship. Easy. And that gets us enough reputation. Commission acquired. Now the Domain Phase Lab people will pay us as we go about our normal business. Let's go make more money. One of these icons is not like the others, and it sells for about double its buy price throughout the sector, so I guess we're running matcha now. Alright boys, I think I've found the cheese. This ship right here, specifically the hull mod, plasma coupling built in. The beam weapons on this ship are coupled with plasma damage, resulting in dealing hard flux damage to shields. There we go, matcha profit. About 35k in total. Given that I paid tariffs on both ends, that's not so bad. With a lot more cargo space, maybe we can make that work. Not as risky or profitable as running the usual drugs, weapons, or marines, though. Looks like our target bounty lost a few ships before we got here. Oh well, weapons testing time. Okay, so yeah, with our shields turned off, we didn't really accumulate flux. That's interesting. And at a certain point with that graviton beam on him, the poor mule's flux just kind of skyrocketed. He never stood a chance. Introducing our first cruiser, the Mellophone. Firstly, 2 inbuilt beams with sustained damage of 140 each, and a built-in hull mod, Mega Positronic Linac, which doubles the rate of fire of all energy weapons, including the built-ins. If my calculations are correct, this fit with just some mining blasters, the built-ins, and 2 phase lances should do something like 1.8k damage per second. Downsides? Well, we're made of paper, and our effective combat range is 600 units. There I was, minding my own business, running a perfectly normal package for a definitely law-abiding citizen when a filthy pirate accosts me with a fleet larger than mine and threatens me. Well, you know how it is. It's self-defense. Look at it go! Look at the damage! Dang. We are running out of peak performance time, but I got him. This thing sure is a glass cannon, but when the cannon works, it works. Dang it, my engines. Well, I probably misplayed here. Not again, my engines! What? Dang it. I've bitten off more than I can chew here. This cruiser is just called the Tuba. It has very poor side coverage only PD, but makes up for it with 2 front-mounted medium slots and 2 wide-angle medium turret slots. Heavy blasters and pulse lasers go burr. Or not. I could overextend and die again. Such is the way of playing Starsector at 1 AM. At least I can still drive the trumpet. So far, it's my favorite small ship out of all the things I've tried from this faction mod. Having the same active system as an Omen, but on a destroyer-sized ship, is pretty cool. Get wrecked, pirates. At least I can still 1v1 a mule. Did you know this whole run, we've had at least 2 factions who hate the Phase Lab's guts? The Church and the Tritachyon Corporation. Luckily, they've not seen fit to try and invade or anything, and I can play on in peace. For now. Hey, second ruin in this system, and there's a corrupted nanoforge. We're going places this run, I think. You know, this planet doesn't look half bad, but I'll shop around a bit before deciding where to colonize. I was saving money to start colonies, but the merchants at the lab had to put this blue onslaught on severe demod related discount. It's gonna be mine now. Introducing the blue slot, or the blue slaughter. There we go. So, this is the fit. Basically, we had a horrible issue with top speed, so I've S-modded in auxiliary thrusters for now for that zero flux speed boost. And I say for now, but I can't actually take S-mods back, so it's just in there now. We got the heavy armor, the hardened subsystems, solar shielding, and insulated engine assembly to ensure that we are fit to fight for a long time in combat, and that we don't take as much damage from hazards out of combat because I'm bad at driving. So, the thing to note here is that we have a built-in integrated targeting unit, and we have thermal pulse lances, which have 1,000 range and deal an absurd 550 damage per second. And we have 2 of them. That's a lot of damage before we even talk about any of the other weapons. We have a mix of gravitron beams and desolator cannons to cover shield pressure and armor and hull breaking. Then we have 2 tactical lasers to be extra annoying. All of that is at 1,000 range, but with ITU in it, we're going to be at 1,600 range. So this onslaught is pretending to be a paragon. Other than that, we are just chock full of every point defense option that I could think of that I had available, and a bunch of these Siren DEM SMRs from Domain Phase Lab, which are basically just regular old little green DEMs, but better. And yeah, that's the blue slot. Let's go find something to shoot. Welp, once again, we're getting jumped by pirates in hyperspace. They look, thick. Let's try this, though. Ah, look at that melt a beam! This is super tense. Ships behind me. Big freaking modded capital ship in front of me. Go, hyper beams, go! Ow, friendly fire. Got you, punk. I hate this. Ugly, left-hand-sided battle. The UI is obscuring all the fun as I slog this out. Only through shield flickering and burn drive mini activations did I manage to take this bad boy down. But down he does go. Hold up. Faction eliminated? Luddic Church? What? It seems that Tritac and the Hedge have divided up all of the old church worlds between themselves. Good thing I'm only hostile to Tritac. For now. And the Phase Syndicate is born. Another massive pirate fleet. Can't believe I'm dying to an Atlas Mark II and a pile of trash, but the trash pile is large. There's no way to turn around, to disengage. We are trapped. We cannot get out. Blue Slaughter is too chunky. He died like he lived, front toward the enemy. We spent a long time getting re-established. This is your reminder that I play all these runs on Iron Man. When I lose things, I lose things. You may note, our fleet now contains some enforcers and an eradicator. As it turns out, a lot of the Domain Phase Labs ships have absurdly low armor and are highly specialized, meaning that over time, I've learned not to trust the AI to pilot them. They tend to get blown up very often. This is not profitable. So mixed fleet comp it is from now on. Why are bounties like this in this run? It seems like every time I take one on, it adds an Atlas Mark II or something large while I'm on my way to do it. Yippee. Wolfpack tactics forever. Eat superior firepower. I've built a heavy industry. There's just one problem. I have 0 blueprints from my own faction because of RNG. At least I have this Paragon blueprint that I can use to build a ship. Well, this is unusual. Phase Lab Mercenary Attack. A custom colony crisis event. Interesting. But, they misunderstand. My industrial base? My fellow Phase Lab employees, do you not realize I'm going negative on industry income? All I'm doing is pouring my own money from bounty hunting into making a Paragon. There's no profit here for you to attack. We need to talk about ship stuff. Saxophone battle cruiser. What the hell? 3,500 hull, 8,000 flux pool. Is this some kind of joke? For 35 deployment points? Let's compare. This is a Legion from the base game. 18,000 hull, 12,000 flux pool, 40 deployment points. Maybe that's unfair, because this is a low-tech ship. Let's look at the default high-tech battle cruiser real quick. The Odyssey, my favorite ship from the base game. 10,000 hull, 15,000 flux pool, 45 deployment points, 17 weapon slots. Sure, 45 deployment points. But, you know? Okay, one last comparison. The Eagle, a cruiser. 8,000 hull, 11,000 flux pool. Sure, no large weapon slots, but whatever. 20 deployment points. I'd rather have an Eagle even a damaged one, than this Phase Lab Capital with these very, very tiny stats. At least in this mod, I have the trumpet, my beloved, the oversized Chungus Omen. It makes me happy. At least I'm safe inside the trumpet. Like I said, the trumpet is pretty freaking cool. Love this thing. Look at him go. What is this? I forgot. Luddic Path Ventures can fart lunch. I mean, use the Orion drive. Oh, goodbye, I guess. Bye-bye. Okay, here we are. A fight with some Phase Lab deserters. Yeah, their ships are damaged, but whatever. It's a chance to get back at Phase Labs for selling me some really poorly statted ships at absurdly high prices. Vengeance. Now there's a worthy goal. Hey look, a mellophone. Good thing I know its weakness. Tuba of Disappointment. Womp womp. Starsector is actually kind of nicely statted. Built-in advanced targeting core, some special weapon or such called him, good weapon slot amounts, nice big flux pool. Yeah, she's gone. Stats look good in theory, but as with many Phase Lab ships, the AI cannot be trusted to pilot them. Profound sadness. Let the record show that domain Phase Lab mercenaries have herein disrupted my heavy industry, thus preventing me from building my giant cool paragon to assist Phase Lab in any of its own business ventures. I've been loyal and helpful the whole time. Why are you guys like this? This fight should prove interesting. There are a few ships here from Phase Lab that I haven't seen yet. The Aulachrome and the Simbasso actually don't have trash stats. Well, crap. So that's how that ship is supposed to work. Got him. Another one down. Sorry, Trumpet, my old friend. Ow, hot, hot, hot. Sad enemy phase ship. Sorry, buddy. However, I cannot deal with this strangely shaped thing that outranges me as though it were a paragon. Why is that never for sale back home? It has a lot of fighter bays, I think. So yeah, there are cool big ships in this faction. I just haven't seen them on the market. And also, my fleet died. I could have bought a single, glorious Trumpet, but instead, for the same cost, I got 3 new Brawlers and 2 Vigilances as shown here, thanks to our lovely allies, the Persian League. It has taken literal years. We've finally built a Paragon. I'm going to go finish some small quests. Honestly, before I do anything with the Paragon, we're going to need money to actually fit and fly it. You know, building ships probably would have gone a lot faster if I'd put in the Nanoforge and upgraded this thing to an orbital works like an IRL day or 2 ago. We've been at war with Tritac this whole time, but now, apparently, we've also declared war on the hegemony. Thanks, Persian League, our tactical genius allies. Note how on the scoreboard, the hedge is also at the top of the board. Ugh, I can still fix this. Maybe. Okay, it wouldn't be one of my usual videos if I didn't at least outfit one capital class ship from this mod and try it. So, what I have found is the Saxophone class custom battlecruiser. Now, I know, 40 DP, 5,400 hull, it makes me want to scream, but it does have, with vents and stuff already put in, a 2.8K, blah, blah, blah. But after modifying it, it does have a 28,000 point flux capacity, which is kind of nice, and a really good shield to flux damage ratio, and the top speed of a brick floating gently through space. Maneuvering jets for the system is okay, but let me show you the fit, right? So before we get to weapons, there's something really unusual going on here, for better or worse, right? We have advanced targeting core, which you would normally see on a Paragon, which is a great 100% bonus energy range and ballistic range, but there's no ballistic slots. And of course, point defense range extension as well. And then plasma coupling, which we covered back at the start of the video. So beams do hard flux damage. Just boom, beams do hard flux damage. Don't question it. Don't worry about it. It's totally fine. And then there's this temporal targeting system. Further extends the range of ballistic energy weapons by 55%. Range of point defense weapons up by 20%. So we have basically, if these work like I think they do, we have an 80% boost to point defense range, which may actually make long-range point defense lasers good, so we've slapped some of those on, right? Not in all the slots. I've kept regular PD lasers, but so there's a mix. But we also have a 155% boost to energy weapon range, and so that would put our high-density plasma lances 1,000 range, and that would bump it up to something like 2,500 or so, right? So that's a lot of range. We outrange a Paragon. So when the mod author's page for the mod says we're doing sniping, right? We are glass cannon sniper ships. This is the culmination of that. And I think that this as a single ship in the fleet is going to be something of beauty. Now, I've stuck in S-modded aux thrusters so that I can rotate even faster to aim my giant doom cannon, which as you see has no rotational arc. Integrated point defense because I didn't know what else to put. That's probably going to keep us safe from fighter swarms, fingers crossed. Hardened subsystems so we can operate for longer, and solar shielding because I'm going to have to fly this somewhere to do anything. But for weapons, we have a rear-facing Paladin PD system, in case that ever matters. Up front, we have 2 high-density plasma lances, which are also from the mod. Yeah, range 1,000 before modifications, right? Damage 2.4k, or technically 2,399, but whatever. Flux per second and flux to non-EMP damage is kind of a rough ratio. Probably not going to be able to continuous fire these, right? And I know it says damage type 100% no hard flux, but remember we have plasma coupling over here. We're going to be doing hard flux. So yeah, and deals bonus HE damage when hit on hull. I don't know how much bonus damage, but you know, it's bonus damage if it works. And yeah, and also look at the EMP damage. We've talked about flux / non-EMP damage, but there's also 1,500 EMP damage there. Sure, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We have 2 of those, both front-facing. I did have a medium energy slot. In that, of course, we've put a plasma lance. It is not the same as the high-density plasma lance because it doesn't do EMP damage. It's just a long-range little beam with similarly kind of rough flux damage ratio. That's fine. So this will be my flagship that I fly. I've got some blue onslaughts and some other things saved up. I'll walk you through all of that later, but this, I like this. Other than the fact that it's made of glass, but that's probably not going to matter because we're going to outrange everything. We're into the good stuff, I hope. Since I've built the ships I want, and we're nearing the end game of this, I don't need these planets anymore, for the most part. They're just costing me money. So I'm in the process of selling off my industries on each planet for a refund, and then passing control over the gutted planets to Phase Lab to do whatever they can manage to do with them. Something else I've noticed this run is our allies have befriended the Tritachyon Corporation a lot, and their rep will go neutral. And then, a few in-game days later, Tritach will become hostile to us again. I think Phase Lab is relation locked to always be at -50 with Tritach, even though Tritach has done nothing of consequence to us this whole time. Not really a bad thing. Plenty of mods do this sort of thing with relation locking for lore reasons, but that gives us our target, right? If we can't be friends, then I might as well use them as target practice for our shiny new war fleet. Fellow spacers, this is the final fleet. Pulled every ship, weapon, and smidge of supply I had stored from storage. 3 ships for me, saxophone, a beam onslaught, and then this crummy Prometheus Mark II, which was a last-minute addition. A Paragon equipped with domain Phase Lab weapons will serve as the fleet's main tank or anchor. 2 more blue onslaughts, because blue onslaught is good. 1 dedicated lightning cannon PD ship, because unlimited power. 2 trumpets, because that's all I could get in market, along with 4 manticores to provide ranged fire support. An afflictor with tac lasers to annoy and debuff our foes, and then 6 ships, mostly condors, so that we have fighter and bomber support. Let's go wreck stuff, or die trying. We ride for the Tritachyon planets of Kuan and Yok Breeze. Yok Breeze? However you pronounce that. I'm just a fleet admiral. If Phase Lab can't make peace with these fellows, I guess I'll do my duty. For fun, faction, and profit. Fight for Kalan. The saxophone still kinda suffers from the requirements of its guns, and the station has equal range with us. I thought we were super ranged. Oh well. Crap. This thing sounded so good on paper. Dang it. Dang it. Our allied blue onslaught has fallen. What are you doing, brother onslaught? Why so close? Cracked station module. This is totally working. We can still fix this. Once the shields are down, the poor station is made of paper. And that's all that's left of our once proud fleet. I may just be bad at playing high-tech, if this can even be called high-tech at this point. By the Phase Lab gods, we've won. That was rough. Goodbye, saxophone. I'm not good enough to properly pilot you, I guess. Hippity-hoppity, your nanoforge is my property. I'll just vent that into deep space. They'll never find it. Burn! Hello, Special Task Group. You are too late to save your precious planet. You are approaching me, even after I've destroyed your home and your grandfather. Hull breach, help, help. Why is the onslaught blue? Ah, the beams! York Breeze is next. The station goes down pretty easy. mainly because there are no supporting ships on the enemy side. People of York Breeze, I have an announcement to make. By fire be purged. Huh, this is interesting. No matter how many times I sat-bomb them, they refuse to die. Does this planet have some kind of story quest protection? Almost as good as bombing them back to the Stone Age is invading their planet, selling off all the industries for profit, and then abandoning the planet, leaving it unclaimed. Now we have a bit of a new problem. That's a lot of vengeance fleets, I guess? Let's see how much of Tritac I can tear apart before they finish me. Well, 3 fleets caught me at once before I could even get to the next planet. Let's see how this goes. Help, system's not functional. Help, 2 minutes later. My ship is still getting disable chained and landmined. My engines do not work. Please stop? The sweet, sweet release of death. Better than having no engines or weapons forever. I am Captain Squiggly Phase, the Unstoppable? What do you mean we're overloaded? Keep firing! Wait. In the end, Domain Phase Lab stands out as a unique faction among all the other modded options. I give it a lab out of 10. Why? Because to make things work, you will probably need to spend time in the science lab and the flight simulator and figure stuff out. There's a lot of power to be had if you can somehow work around the downsides of each ship. I'm sad to report that for the most part I did not figure it out. Other than the trumpet, the fat cousin of the Omen. I love that thing. The weapons, overall, are great additions to the game, and I'd like to keep this faction around for future runs just because lots of it is so niche and interesting in theory, and I'd like to have some of their missiles and large beams available to use on other factions' hulls. Story content, named NPCs, and missions are included in this mod, but I've left that stuff out of the video, partly because I don't really enjoy that sort of quest chain content, and partly because it would spoil that content for those who do enjoy it. Anyway, that's the end of this run. I've got twice as much footage to edit and voiceover as my last video, so yeah. As always, let me know what factions you'd like to see more of in the comments, and so on. So far, there have been requests for more Valkyrie Battle Maidens, and for more United Auroran Federation, so those are on my to-do list. If you see a community post with votes, do vote on that, because that will also help determine what I do next. Thanks for watching, and to my patrons and friends, thank you for your continued support. More Starsector videos to come. Cannot help but observe that for some reason the Sindrian Dictat doesn't hate me here at the end. I don't think it's a surprise to anyone at this point. We were definitely the bad guys.